If you like what we're doing here, make sure to give us a positive rating on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to this show. Also, make sure to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/thatoneandrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted along with a plethora of other videos. We now also have our very own Patreon. So if you'd like to support us monetarily, head over to patreon.com/thatoneandrew. Check it out today, and thank you for listening. Now, on to the show. And then it does like the... Greetings all, welcome to the Gaming Block Podcast, the #1 podcast for all the pertinent video game news spanning across all platforms including Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and more. I am your host Andrew Arana, and today I'm joined by the bad boys of video games, Jake Ward and Roger Bennon. On this week's episode, me and the boys will be discussing the impending lawsuit coming CD Projekt Red's way, the NPD numbers for November of last year. Actually, I don't think we're going to talk about that now. The Switch Pro looking like a reality, and much more. But before we get into all that, tradition dictates that I ask the bad boys how they've been. Guys, how was your Christmas break?
That was pretty good. I got a lot of gaming to in that I haven't in a while.
Yeah? You play a lot of good games? What'd you play?
So I played through Gravity Rush, and I beat that finally, remastered. And then I played through the Vader Immortal games. I played a lot of Beat Saber. And then I played through Portal 2 again.
Yeah,
and
nice.
What else did I do?
You should probably tell the people you also got an Oculus Quest 2.
Oh yeah, I got an Oculus Quest 2. That would be how I played Vader Immortal and Beat Saber. And oh yeah, I played like a ton of Dead by Daylight, like within the last week.
Yeah, yeah, same here. Roger, how was your Christmas break?
So what are you gonna do with your PlayStation VR now?
I'll probably like burn it.
Roger, you want to tell us like how your Christmas was?
I don't care about his Christmas. We already talked about mine. Let's talk about yours.
Sure.
That's so rude.
My Christmas went okay. I had a short Christmas because like I had a that
That's
weekend
the
and
only short
whatnot,
thing you
and then
had.
I had to start a new job the Monday after Christmas. So
Oh, really?
yeah, you're right. Christmas is 3 days long. It's like something else that's 3 long.
You kind of fumbled that joke. Christmas is
Dude,
3 inches.
I'm honestly still kind of tired.
Yeah, we are, for the audience, we are
Yeah,
recording at
I was
10:47 a.m.
I was trying. I know that's not even early though. I was trying to bounce off Jacob's joke, but I couldn't do it because it was trash.
All right. Well, I have the
Anyways,
backup recording
what are we talking
going,
about?
just in case. We're just
who else is clicking now, huh? Andrew, I hear you clicking.
No,
you gotta stop that clicking.
No. Well, with that in mind, it's once again time for everyone's favorite segment, the Gaming Riddle. Who does the theme song? I forget.
Roger.
Oh, Roger. Theme song.
Jake.
Okay, there it is. There's the theme song. Now, you guys have been too damn good at this.
Wait, who was supposed to do the theme song?
I don't know. I don't know who does it. Listen, it's been a year since we've done this. Like, I can't remember anything. This Gaming Riddle, I made it extremely difficult because I'm tired of you guys getting it so easily. More specifically, Jake. I'm tired of you getting it so easily. So, I made this vague.
Riddle.
You guys remember, you have 3 questions each. The riddle goes as follows. I was released May 1st, 2005. Initially, I came out September 16th, 2004 in Japan. The 10th game in the series. That's all you get.
Well, the only thing that could have like 10 entries at that point would probably be on a Nintendo console, right?
Is that your question? Is it on a Nintendo console?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Roger, your turn.
Wait. So like, Hold up. Was it on a Nintendo console or is it exclusively on a Nintendo console?
Is that your question?
Yes.
Yes, it is exclusive.
Okay.
I need to know the difference.
Handheld or console?
Yes or no answers.
Oh, is it on a handheld?
Yes.
Okay.
Was it also on a console?
No.
Okay.
This is your you know what? Since I made it so difficult, I'll give you each 2 more guesses.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we got the release date and the numbered entry, and that's it.
So it's on a Nintendo handheld, 2005.
Japanese game, so this is up your alley, Jake. I'm expecting this from you.
What's it gonna be, Mr. Ward? Bum, 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 bum. Remember, you have 2 more guesses, so.
And I'm just trying to think of what to ask. It's on a handheld. Was it a very popular game?
Yes, I'll say very, yeah.
Okay.
Who's this?
Remember, you
I
guys
have no idea. It's a Japanese game. You get to choose your waifu in it.
don't hang up too much on the Japanese game because technically all Nintendo games are Japanese games.
Mm-hmm.
It was just back in the day, Nintendo games used to release in Japan first.
Right, but still to this day,
you didn't answer my question.
It happens.
So what was your question?
Roger? Hello?
Well,
anyone? Hello?
Bueller?
I think Roger flatlined again.
No, he's still there.
Something happened.
We still hear you, Roger. Oh no.
I can't hear.
You know what? I'm going to pull an audible. I'm going to stop this recording. Let's head over to Discord and see if that works. Roger?
I'm going to throw this entire laptop out the window, I swear.
And let's try doing Discord. Let's see if that works better. Okay?
But will Zencastr still be a thing? Like, will you still be able to upload through Zencastr?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all this does is saves our audio files individually. I'll go ahead and I'll make a new channel right now. Over
a new YouTube channel?
Yeah, No. So I'm gonna put user limit 3. That way Cody doesn't join.
How'd you know?
Yeah. So we'll just go to my Discord and we'll just go into the stream's voice chat. Okay.
Okay. Well, here I am.
Here you are.
Again on my own. Oh God.
Oh God.
Huh? Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you twice. It says Zencastr.
Oh. Roger, welcome.
Hold on. I gotta unmute myself.
He's oh, there you go. He's muted. Okay.
Hopefully that works.
Roger?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear Roger.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
It doesn't say.
No, seriously.
It doesn't say I'm talking on the thing.
Oh, I still hear Roger on Zencastr.
Oh, you're hearing him on there.
Yeah.
It's not saying that I'm speaking for some reason.
Yeah, check your microphone settings on Discord. I think so.
he was deafened at first, and then he was muted, and now he's not.
Yeah, it's probably
I still
not
can't
picking
hear
up
him.
his microphone. So what you do, Roger, is hit settings. Down by your username at the bottom, you see mute, deafen, and then user settings. Hit that, and then go to voice and audio.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I want to say I'm there, but
Oh, you're good now.
wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I didn't change anything. I just clicked on settings. I changed nothing, and it's working now.
Well,
Huh.
that's good. Also, hey, I found a thing by the disconnect button that says noise suppression powered by Crisp. If I click, can you hear the clicking?
Kind of. I mean,
I don't really care about the clicking, to be honest with you.
all right.
Or can you hear me fine still though with it on? Because I don't want to like start cutting out.
Oh yeah, I hear you fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just continue from here. Hopefully,
Okay.
if everything went well on everyone else's end, they didn't notice any difference. So Roger, you were on your second to last guess or
Yeah.
question.
Oh, my question you
Yeah.
never answered is still the same. Can you choose your waifu in it? I know you gave me the explanation, but
Okay. So choose your waifu in it. Are you asking like, can you date someone in it, or are you just saying like, are there girls for you to be like, oh, that's my waifu?
I don't know. You decide.
You cannot date anyone in it.
Okay.
Jake, final guess or question.
Sorry, Jake. I'm not helping out much on these questions.
You guys can ask about like genre. You can ask like what kind of graphics it has. You can ask what kind of gameplay it has.
No, we'll figure it out.
I think. Oh, yeah, it could be yes or no. Still, I don't know. I think after all that time, I'd have a final question ready, but no.
You just want to take a shot in the dark on what game it is?
I mean, I have an idea based on
Do it.
the questions.
Hail Mary.
I will ask one question just to clear it up because I'm not sure how many of these there were yet. Is it part of, or well, did Capcom make it?
No.
Okay, then I know what it is.
Oh.
Roger.
What is it?
Roger, your turn.
Yeah, he knows what it is by Capcom not making it. I don't know. Can I phone a friend?
No.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Jake,
Okay.
do you want to just guess it?
Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure it's Pokemon Emerald.
Yep, it is.
All right.
Whoa. That's
All right.
crazy.
I'll go ahead. It was over the question limit, but I'll go ahead and give it to you because that was a difficult one. Very nicely done. Yes, the 10th game in the series. The first.
Wait, Pokemon Emerald was the 10th game in the series?
Yep, the first 4 were red, blue, green, and yellow, and then we had crystal. What were the other ones called, Jake?
Gold and silver.
Gold, silver, and crystal, and then we had ruby, sapphire, and emerald being the 10th mainline one. Of course,
I guess I wasn't thinking about like the generations and stuff. You know, I kind of view red and blue as like the same thing.
Yeah. So there it is. Good job, Jake. Nicely done. That was a difficult one. I was thinking about putting like other things in there, but I was like, this gives it away that it's Pokemon. So I had to be like super vague about it.
You should just put like green.
I thought about that.
But no, when it said 10th game in the series, I was like, when I got it down to Nintendo handheld, I was like, okay, what? It's either gonna
What do you
be
think,
like
Zelda?
one of the. No, I was thinking of the Mega Man games because there was a lot of Battle Network games, and I don't know how many there were.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, it's either gonna be that or Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sort of forgot that was one of the questions we asked that was on hand.
But then I guess I forgot I asked if it was a very popular game, and I don't think the Battle Network games were.
I don't think the Battle Network games were either. Pokemon definitely was. I mean, it wasn't as popular as the beginning ones, but Emerald was still very popular.
It was popular for me.
All right. Well, with that being done, congratulations, Jake. We are moving on to what we have been playing. You more or less told us already, Jake, what you've been playing. Roger, have you been playing any games since we've been gone?
Yeah, in my spare time, I've been addictively playing Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, really? Heck
Oh,
yeah.
Did I pick? No, I didn't pick that one up. I picked up Dante's Inferno. That's what I did.
Yeah,
Dante's Inferno is a good game, but Dragon's Dogma, I don't know. There's just like it's so unique, and different that I've been really enjoying it. I played the original release back on 360, but I never picked up the Dark Arisen stuff. So
no, I did get Dark Arisen. Yeah, that was one of the ones I got.
Yeah, good games.
Oh, you should play it. It's like super good.
It really
you
is.
Have it on Xbox One, don't you?
What?
You probably have it on Xbox One, don't you?
Yeah, sir. Well, it's not really multiplayer. I mean, it kind of is, but kind of isn't. Yeah, it's multiplayer in the sense that like you can create your AI companion, and then have somebody else use that AI companion, and that's about it.
I noticed I got a lot of Capcom games when I was ordering through the buy one get one.
I'll say this, like Dragon's Dogma, I probably want a sequel for that game more than any other game.
There's always rumblings that a new Dragon's Dogma is in the work. So
I know, and they just released that anime.
Yep. So, well, that's cool. I haven't really been playing much. I started God of War again. Got past the part I initially did when it first came out.
You rescued a dragon.
Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I rescued a dragon. I'm about like
your son shot a guy in the knee.
He did, yeah. We made it was a little meme. I was fighting one of the bosses, and like right when I killed him,
it's like after
the camera started panning out, and then the child shot another arrow and it went right into his knee. I was like, oh, meme.
It's like right after all the dialogue, and you just hear, shoo!
So, but that game's fun. Yeah, I'm probably like a third of the way through it. Not doing all the collectibles and stuff, which I don't think I'll do. I think I just want to beat the game. But I've been playing that, and then hopefully I can get back to Yakuza at some time, because I haven't played, I don't think at all since we last talked. Not that I don't want to play it, it's just, things happening, life happening, stuff coming up. So
yeah.
But yeah.
I guess for me, I know I already said it a little bit, but I guess I could say what I'm playing now. So not only did I beat Gravity Rush, I platinumed that and 100%ed it, and that's what I'm working on with the sequel right now. So I've already gotten like a decent way through the beginning, I would say. But yeah, it's so hard to not just stick around in that game and just fly around and explore and get gems.
Yeah, that's it. They nailed exploration in that game. It's very fun to do.
Like, it's just the inner like Banjo-Kazooie player in me just wants to go get all the little purple gems in the world. And that takes a while.
Yeah. It's a big world too. It's not my goal
ever, but I just like will be flying and I'm like, oh, there's a whole wall of gems over there. I'll get those. And I'll be like, oh, there's some over here too. I'll get those. And it's like, oh, there's some more right there. I'll get those.
Then 45 minutes later, it's like, oh, what was I doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to a conversation that means nothing.
Yeah. Good games though. If you've never played the Gravity Rush games, I highly recommend them. Very fun, and they're on Game Pass, or not Game Pass. They're on PlayStation Now. Yeah.
It's on my list.
They're on PlayStation Now, and they're always on sale for like $6.
Yeah, digitally. Not physically. That first one is worth a lot.
Not the remastered one.
Unless you get it on Vita.
Even the Vita one's like getting up there in value. I think it's up to like $40, $60.
Dang, it's wild. Well, let's go ahead and move on from what we've been playing to our fun question of the week. No dicks this question, boys. All it is do you do New Year's resolutions?
Well, there may be dicks now.
No.
Just a no.
I mean, like, I always say, like, oh, this will be the year I do this, and then I never do it. So I maybe no. It's not so much a resolution, but it's more like a goal.
I mean, that's kind of what the New Year's resolution is, though. Is set a goal for yourself for the year.
Yeah, I I
Looks
don't.
like a news installation without the name.
I don't do them. When we're kids, I was always like, oh yeah, I'll do this because that's what the grown-ups do.
You did have your game quota.
My games to beat in a year.
Yeah.
Now that I'm doing this self-employed type thing, I might go back to doing that. Because there are a lot of games that I'm like, oh, I don't beat games, so it would
Yeah, I
be.
noticed on your Steam your completion rate was like at 17%
Cool.
out of your thousands of games.
Yeah, so I need to. I might do that again. Maybe I'll go for 52 games again this year. I mean, I'm already on to a late start, but I could.
You could get a couple ones. Like you could play Portal 2 in like a day.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a
Like that's
ton.
You've never beat Portal 2?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it's a great game.
You're robbing
That
yourself.
story is so good.
Yeah.
It makes me like hurt inside that there isn't a third one, and there never will be.
Yeah, it sucks.
Listen, they did tie it up nicely for like, Shell's departure from the series. So like,
Right, like-
I like playing as Shell, and if they brought her back, it would just feel like, oh, well,
I don't know.
this.
For me, it's not really like the characters are a major deal for that game.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, the GLaDOS and whatnot, but like the character
I
you
just don't
play
think
out.
Atlas.
It's kind of like Gordon Freeman. Like it doesn't really matter.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, Atlas and Peabody are like the face of that game because of the multiplayer, and they're on the cover too. I just don't feel like if they did another story that they would be able to like carry a plot that wouldn't be like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all they have to take over is the portals. Like, they can do
Yeah, I
it
mean
now.
that's the thing. Like that game has such excellent like level design, and just atmosphere and music and
Well, and it's hilarious too. The dialogue is just
Cave
hilarious.
Johnson, I love him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's J.K. Simmons, and he's looking for pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I showed Andrew an audio clip of him talking about the Life Gives You Lemons.
It's funny how much J.K. Simmons has like voiced. You know what I mean? Like, he's actually done a lot of voice work.
It's crazy. I didn't realize, but there was a level pack for Lego Dimensions for Portal, and they got all the voice actors to come back for it for like Wheatley GLaDOS and J.K. Simmons.
Holy
for Dave Johnson.
shit, dude! You just like opened Pandora's box by saying Lego Dimensions. I forgot that existed.
Yeah, it's weird. They had like some really good like.
Yeah, no, they had a lot of like packs and stuff. Like, oh
like
my
they had
gosh.
like a Sonic the Hedgehog one that had like all the voice actors from the games, and it was like it's weird. Whenever they do a different game series like pack, they are like super referencey to it. Like they're really fan servicey for it.
Whatever happened to that? Did it
just died
die?
like everything else?
Yeah, I guess it just because I remember that being like the hot shit there for a minute, and then I guess it just disappeared.
When Skylanders went down, all the other Toys of Life went down. I think actually no, it was when Disney canceled it. I noticed when it was kind of like the beginning of the end because I think Skylanders had like one more expansion and then they were just done.
Yeah.
Disney's always the beginning of the end.
Disney, it was crazy because they were like huge because they have their characters.
Oh, huge.
So, and then it was just like, we're done. It's like, oh. And they were like, oh, not just done with this. We're done with all video games. And it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, weird though. Just something I had totally forgotten about and you brought back up into my life. So.
Thanks for that.
Well, that's New Year's
resolutions.
resolutions.
Yeah. I was just gonna say the reason I got to that was just because I just happened to I like the advertisements for Portal 2, so I was looking those up last night, and then I was like, oh yeah, there is a Lego Dimensions that exists, and this was a part of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I never played the co-op portion of it.
Dude, co-op is really good too. That's the
that's
only.
what I heard.
When I was doing Portal 2, there was 4 achievements I hadn't gotten in 9 years for the campaign, so I went through and did those, and now I just have some co-op stuff to do.
Well,
sounds like we need to have a Portal 2.
Yeah, there's some Portal 2.
Yes.
All right. Well, That sounds good. Hopefully we do get to that game eventually and do some co-op in it. I think that'd be fun. Um, I have to sneeze and it's really hurting right now. I'm gonna hold it out. So if we could just add, nope, nope. Ah! All right.
I was
So
gonna say, you could have like muted it as you sneeze, but we gotta have it.
yeah,
Do we?
do we what?
It's a part of the experience.
Oh, never mind.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to move on to the news for the week. Now, we were gone for a couple of weeks, so there is quite a bit of news. There are some other big stories in here that I didn't put in. MPD numbers aren't out for December yet, so we're not going to do that this week because it's not ready. Some people have sadly passed away over the past few weeks. Jake showed me that famous Blizzard cosplayer that cosplayed as that one World of Warcraft guy. He passed away from COVID, so condolences to his family.
We had another big video game alum die. I can't remember his name. But he was
Tetris. Who?
Oh well, yeah. No, yeah, that too. The classic Tetris champion.
The 6-time Tetris champion. He passed away last week, and yeah, wasn't there one more?
Yeah, this guy, he wasn't like a huge voice actor, but he's very prevalent in the industry.
Yeah, the voice actor.
He has a lot of credits in anime. He's in Devil May Cry as the bird in Devil May Cry 5. He's in Final Fantasy, just has various voices in that series, and in Fire Emblem.
Yeah, his name is Brad Venable.
Mm-hmm.
There was a speedrunner that kind of got into some controversy waters about a year back. I don't know if you guys know him. His name was Apollo Legend. Was his YouTube channel on thing? He would always post up speedrunning, news and stuff. But he killed himself.
Oh
last
wow!
Week.
Well, definitely condolences to his family about that, and then of course suicide hotlines, things like that. Always talk to people. The Tetris player, his name is Jonas Nabaru. Neubauer. I don't know how to say that last name, but he passed away. Now, the cosplayer, he died of COVID. These other ones, we don't know what they passed away from. It just said that they died. So,
yeah.
Wanted to bring that up at least, and give our condolences to everyone. Sad times, a lot of people passing away, but we just got to keep trucking on, moving on. But let's go ahead and set that upsetting, depressing stuff to the side and talk about everyone's new favorite game, Cyberpunk. Yay! And for our first story this week, it's Cyberpunk has a class action lawsuit on its hands. Woohoo!
Y'all thought it might happen.
You got a lawsuit to burn.
This is something we kind of predicted on the previous episode when talking about all the false advertisement, things like that. I think I even said investors do have a case here for misleading advertisement, and that's what happened. A New York-based law firm has led the class action lawsuit against CDPR, citing violation of federal security laws. The lawsuit is on behalf of investors that were seemingly, quote, duped, end quote, into investing and buying stocks in anticipation of the big Cyberpunk launch. This lawsuit ties directly to the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game. False advertisement. This is probably just the beginning for CDPR's troubles in relation to this game. The game is still not on PlayStation Network, and returns are still being allowed on every platform. So,
do you think this might be the end?
Might be what?
Do you think they can bounce back from this? Just all of this?
So,
not just specific lawsuit, but everything?
It's an interesting question because right now CDPR is trying to do damage control as best as possible. While we were gone, they also announced hey, we're gonna give everyone free DLC and stuff like that, and we're gonna keep patching, and we're gonna keep the next gen console versions are coming out, things like that. And you're seeing the stories already where I think it was something like player base drops by 84% on Steam. And of course, people are defending that, being well, it's a single player game. And it's yes, it is, but at the same time, I remember games like Witcher 3 or like Skyrim and stuff where people played that game and they were playing it for years. Like, I don't think Skyrim ever dropped
Yeah.
84% in its player base in the first month because it's been out a month.
I mean, I still play those games.
Yeah. So, I think right now the fans in CDPR are trying damage control, but this already we're seeing the ripples of this effect already. I think the game's called Outriders that just got delayed. We're seeing every other game either not get release dates or getting delayed because no one wants Cyberpunk on their hands.
Yeah.
I think
Like, I know, like, that was a big thing with the Master Chief Collection. Is like I know it got
Dude,
delayed before that came out, but I think that like they are seeing like what could have been.
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection, the
Or
launch
not
of
Master Chief Collection. Sorry, Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite, yeah, and I think
Yeah.
Halo Infinite we're gonna see.
Master Chief Collection. That was game was broken when it launched too.
Yeah, it was.
Those are dark days to be a Halo fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I think 343 is definitely seeing the writing on the wall with, you know, how they
I don't
handled
know.
the Master Chief Collection.
I'm kind of worried because like there's performance thing, right, where you want them to obviously get the game working. And I'm just worried about how Halo Infinite's going to go. It seems like they're just completely reworking everything.
Yeah.
And it's just
Well, I mean, a lot of people have left, and they've got a lot of alum on board, which is nice. But
Interesting.
I don't know how much
but what it is
do at this
it's still bringing in new people with old people's work, right? Like it's still, it's just even if they're right, it's still kind of scary.
It's just
I don't want a Rise of the Skywalker situation with Halo.
I mean, we saw Call of Duty make a game in a year, and how that turned out. It was fine, but it wasn't like anything great. If they do that with Halo, I don't think that's going to be good with Halo. So, I think
it's crazy how they delayed it to like the end of this year too.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show that when they showed off that game, it was obvious. I mean, fanboys, of course, were like, "Oh, it looks good. No, it's fine," but it's it was obvious that it wasn't ready.
They did say they were going for a Halo 3 art style, and they did go for a Halo 3 art style.
Oh yeah, it looked like an Xbox 360 game. They really nailed the art style.
I didn't hate how it looked. I just think it was, you know, not impressive.
There was some performance things about it, and we're so used to Halo being like the best of the best. When
like it's supposed to be like, oh wow, this is the best game that's coming out this year.
Yeah, and it should be, especially when you're launching a new console.
Halo 4 is the best looking game on the 360.
Yeah, that is one thing I remember about Halo 4 is that game.
Insane how well that game looked for the 360. That came out at the end of the life cycle.
Yeah, I believe it came out the year before the Xbox One came out. And then we got our Halo 5 trailer that summer in 2013, and we waited.
We waited.
We got it. And then we waited.
I liked Halo 5.
I did.
I feel like you're too harsh on it. I
don't think anyone liked Halo 5, man.
Roger does.
There's people who like it.
Yeah, Roger likes it.
We just stay under the radar.
But
I didn't think it was
it's okay. It's I don't know. They tried to do a Halo 2 at the end, and I'm like, I'm not here for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
and that's not my main problem with it, but I'm just saying, like, they did not build this up well enough to do a Halo 2 cliffhanger ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to follow up on that. I think Halo Infinite's going to start, and we're going to be like, oh, well, I guess something happened between these games. Did you read the books? Did you do your homework? Did you listen to the audio podcast?
It's like Mass Effect Andromeda.
But I don't think Halo 5 is honestly that bad. I feel like gameplay wise, it's one of the better ones, honestly.
It's just like,
and even the missions, like I don't mind playing the missions. I have fun doing them. There's just
I love that I was able to get a legious achievement
that I don't care for
walking from one area to the next and hitting a button, and then that was a mission.
You get to talk to people. You get to explore stuff. Get more lore.
Care. But
it's fine.
As an elite sitting on the cliff with a grunt.
People like me who like. Here's the thing: for people like me that like lore, it's nice, and there are people like me who don't. You just skip it.
I like lore, but when the best thing to find in that whole giant area to walk around is an elite just sitting on the cliff with a grunt talking about life, that's great. but that used to just be in a level.
You know,
You used to
obviously,
just, like, you could go out of your way to find it and be like, oh, that's fun.
There's a lot of stuff there. I'll kind of agree with you. There is too many of them. They didn't need that much, but it didn't bother me. Like, it wasn't a
And
negative.
the whole build-up for Spartan Lock was just disappointing. That was a lie.
You know
that was a straight-up lie, the fight between Master Chief and Spartan Lock.
Oh, yeah. Dude, trust me, like, you didn't even get it, like, you got it later, like, after all the marketing hype, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you weren't even really a part of it.
But I had no idea about the game. Like, I didn't know anything about it, so I went in with fresh eyes. But yeah, it was.
I mean, I kind of figured that would happen because, like, you can't make Master Chief the bad guy, so I guess I went into it assuming that would happen, which is why I didn't really.
There was no fight. They they exchanged one punch between each other, and they both ran off. And they're friends next time you see them.
I was expecting them to team up anyway, so I guess it just didn't bother me.
It was like how an elementary school friends get in a fight. Like, they just, you know, they had one fist fight in the playground, and then like an hour later they're like, we're friends, yeah.
Well, I mean,
and then the whole making Cortana the bad guy was stupid.
That I didn't super care for. I'll give you that.
Like, she's dead. They had a you know, say what you will about Halo 4, but I think it was as good of any way to get rid of her from the story. I cried. But I don't know. It was just bringing her back just kind of negates anything Halo 4 did.
I mean, I wouldn't say it negates it, but I'll say it undermines it, and I'll say that, like, yeah, it's probably not one of my favorite decisions that they made.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about, like, as a game, as a package. Like, I don't think it's that bad. It's like you, there's some narrative things. Like, I don't care about really an AI uprising, but, like, I still think it looks good. I still enjoy the levels, still the gameplay. I enjoy the multiplayer. So, like, and I don't know. I kind of assumed a lot. Other than, you know, Cortana making an AI uprising, like the Lock and Chief thing, I kind of assumed it would go the way it did. There were scenes they could have done to make it better. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't piss me off as much as it did you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's just they tried to make that game Halo 2, and it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. They even brought back Arbiter.
But that was Cyberpunk news.
Yeah. To answer your question, Roger, I don't know about like long-term effects on this because I think CDPR they were the golden child there for like 3 years, and they destroyed all and any goodwill that they had with the release of this game.
So the reason I think about that is I think of like Bethesda, right, where they destroyed all their goodwill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're big enough, and they got bought by Microsoft, but they're still big enough they can bounce back from that. I don't know if CD Projekt Red is big enough to bounce back because they're still relatively not super big.
Yeah, and with Bethesda, you also have like Bethesda games. It's like Fallout 4 wasn't the best. Fallout 76 not great. But you also have Bethesda show up on like the new Doom and on Dishonored and on Prey and all their other things that they publish. So even that is like you associate Bethesda with like good games as well. CDPR makes one game every 5 years. So
yeah,
they don't get another go at this for 5 years. And when that 5 years does come and they release whatever game it is, Witcher 4 or whatever, next, people are just going to be talking about the launch of Cyberpunk. And I think it's going to be hard for them to repair the damage, and I don't think they're ever going to be like they just were.
I will say, though, just because of the low expectations from gamers with games coming out finished, I feel like once they release, like, the definitive edition or the PS5 Series X versions that are hopefully done at that point, I feel like people will just forget about it.
I don't think so, because
I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait until they do that.
There's so many people I talk to that say they either don't have any glitches or don't notice them or affect their gameplay.
Well, those people are lying. They're obviously fanboys. And you're always going to have fanboys. I mean, there's people that play Fallout 76 and say it's a great game. They're lying. But to them, they're delusional enough to where they're such fanboys that they believe that it is a great game. And you're always going to have that. But the thing that...
I have a friend that's trying to get me to play 76, and I just have not bit the bullet yet to play it.
don't.
The thing that differentiates Bethesda from CDPR is that when Bethesda showed off Fallout 4, they showed us Fallout 4. When we were looking at the trailers and stuff, we kind of knew what we were going to get. CDPR lied to us. They showed us false gameplay. They said that the games run well. They straight up lied. Bethesda, granted, their games not that well made, they at least didn't do that. So I think that's the big difference here is that CDPR lied to everybody. And I do think
it does run well if you play it on Stadia.
yeah, if you play it on Stadia. And I do think people are going to get fired. Like, I think the heads, I can't see them there in 6 months. I can't, especially with this lawsuit. They're going to get fired. So
it's going to suck for them to find a new job.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Good luck finding a job after that whole. You had the biggest game in the world and you fucked it up. So, yeah. Anything else about Cyberpunk or Halo? I guess because it's kind of a 2-in-1.
Dude, how did that happen?
Nah, I don't even know.
It always goes back to Halo.
It always goes back to Halo. Halo or Mario. It always goes, or Nintendo, I guess.
Halo and Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars too. Mm-hmm.
I'll get on that.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next story, and that is Twitch is going a little nuts. Sorry, I got a little. I don't know why, but I'm just so salivating so much. I don't know why. It's just it's like a pool in my mouth. Following both. What?
What?
I have that effect on people. Sorry.
Following both outcries of harassment and a seemingly attempted coup of the United States Capitol, Twitch has banned the word simp, incel, and virgin from being used in any targeted form. That was from the outcries of harassment. Following that, because of the attempted coup, Twitch got rid of the infamous PogChamp emote after the face of the emote, Ryan Gutierrez, expressed support in favor of the rioters. Twitch has since banned the president from the streaming platform and announced they will be cycling the face of PogChamp daily, not weekly, daily.
That's hilarious that they banned the president from their platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to miss those live streams that President Trump did of Among Us.
I know, right? They just got like the biggest Among Us player in the world. But what do you guys think about Twitch seemingly... I don't know how to express this, but they're really using an iron fist here, and if they don't like something, they don't care what the public thinks. They're gonna do what they want. How do you guys feel about that?
They've always been like this. It's not surprising.
Well, they haven't always been like this. They've always been like this since Amazon bought them.
They've been like this for a while.
Yeah.
They've been like this since I've been involved with the platform.
All I see every day is more and more people saying that they're done with Twitch. They don't want to do Twitch anymore. It's not well run. You got crazy people like the Deer Lady in charge of things and stuff like that. You guys heard about that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, are we looking at something that seems sustainable? Do you think Twitch is a sustainable thing, or do you think it's something that's there because it's the only kind of it? And it's waiting for another thing to take its place, and everyone's going to jump ship.
I don't think that Twitch is too big to fail. I think that it is big enough to keep going for a while, but I think people are just going to jump to YouTube. I've seen a lot of people jump to YouTube streaming.
The problem is people jump to Twitch from YouTube because YouTube was being such ass. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen people do the opposite now. And YouTube streaming is actually like getting bigger in the last couple months, and YouTube is, as a platform, is too big to fail. It's always going to be there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if their streaming just keeps on track with getting more and more popular as it is, because there's a lot of YouTubers that just decided to do streaming over the course of the last year, and they did YouTube streaming because that's the platform they're used to, and so they just started doing that. And I think that's why it got more popular, just because more people were like, well, I'm on this platform, let's just continue doing all my stuff on this, but I'll do some live streams on here.
I guess I haven't really, I guess I have noticed it, but I never really thought about it, that I have been seeing quite a bit more people YouTube stream. I'll join in them sometimes, they're live and stuff, not even thinking oh, they're streaming right now.
And
It's
also,
getting
there's like YouTube
popular.
Premiere, which has gotten big, which is essentially live streaming a pre-recorded video.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think YouTube could eventually take over the streaming space from Twitch, at least with like being a home for bigger streamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the people that are in Twitch and are like favored by the Twitch staff are gonna stay. But I know there's like a lot of people with morale that'll probably leave.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of streamers I watch that don't like Twitch and don't want to be on that platform, but
It's
you
where it
know,
is. I mean, that's where the
that's where it's
people
at.
are. Yeah.
That's where their audience is, so they have to stay, or else if they move somewhere, they're very likely to lose their audience.
I really do think it's just we're waiting for not obviously some people have tried it like Microsoft with Mixer, which failed.
Hmm. Well, I
But
mean, it wasn't even like failing. I don't think they just were like,
well, I
we're done
think
with it.
I think they cut it out because it wasn't making money.
Hmm.
But I do think we're just seeing this platform that is only popular because it was kind of the first of its kind. Justin.tv was like, which eventually became Twitch, was like the first game streaming platform.
Hmm. Well, now
Um,
even Facebook has game
yeah, you
streaming.
got Facebook coming in, and you got YouTube doing their thing.
Which say what you will about Facebook, but they've really been like buckling down on their games department.
They have, yeah, they're definitely. I mean, between Oculus and then like their like at mobile, it's not mobile, but it's like their integrated games or whatever. They're definitely going hard on video games.
I hate Facebook with a passion. That's my problem.
That's my problem too. Is like
Yeah.
I hate Facebook, so it's like I
Like
don't.
I hate that with my Oculus, I have to have link it to my Facebook account, and if I
Mhm.
ever get rid of my Facebook account, my Oculus games are gone.
Yeah, it sucks. Um, I would take the Dear God or the Dear Girl over
The dear God.
Facebook. um, but yeah, I don't think Twitch is going to last. I think within the next 10 years, we will see something, whether that be YouTube or an entirely new platform on its own, come in.
Hmm.
But
I can
doing
even
the.
see like YouTube like having its own separate site, kind of like they have YouTube Music
Uh
for
huh.
streaming eventually.
I think they're building up to that. So.
Mhm.
But Twitch is just. You can't run a company like this and. Like, it's evident. Like, they treat people differently. They favor female streamers, obviously.
Oh yeah.
They don't have the same rules for people. Like, they have the whole, like, you can't show too much skin or whatever. And they'll ban a guy for taking, like, having a shirt off for a second for a week. But then a girl's in, like, barely a bikini, which is not allowed. But they're like, whatever, because they make them a lot of money.
Well, it's
So,
the same thing with like feet. Like you can't show your feet, which is like I get it in some circumstances, but there's like people that'll just like get up and you'll see their foot, and then it's like, all right, man.
yeah. So it's like it's an
Like
unfair platform. People aren't treated fairly. They are censoring words now, and
yeah,
which these words, simp, incel, and virgin. Why would they censor those words? Because they know those people that get called the simps and incels and virgins are the ones donating a shitload of money.
yeah.
So they want to pander to these people that aren't the don't talk to girls a lot, and they kind of simp over people and things like that. They're like, no, we like you, you give us a lot of money, so we're gonna ban these words now.
I thought it like virgin was the big one. I thought like I can kind of understand incel and simp, but like virgin was like, well, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's not a
Like I don't think like incel and simp should be, but like I could see like where they were coming from with those because
yeah,
it is the point of bullying.
kind
I don't
of,
know.
but yeah, I understand what you're saying. um
Mhm.
but yeah, Twitch is going nuts. With that being said, twitch.tv/Andrew, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
uh I never stream, so you ain't gonna see
Yes,
anything.
neither do I.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next story, and that is Switch Pro won't stop being mentioned. Now, I'd had this first titled Switch Pro seems to be a true thing, but then I read the article, and I was like, you know what? I don't believe it. And it's because of this first sentence. A Reset Era thread allegedly shows that after a data mine, there's, quote, evidence of a Switch Pro version. This version of the Switch would include the same chip found in the Switch and the Switch Lite currently. The Pro would allegedly boast a 4K OLED screen and might have some processing power in the dock, so they'd have that same chip but in the dock, so to up-res it even more. But since this is from Reset Era, I want to give this rumor any time of day, but since it is a big point of discussion, I feel obligated to at least mention it.
And I think from what I read, it wasn't a 4K OLED screen. It was an OLED screen, but with the output for 4K on the
Gotcha.
TV.
Okay, gotcha.
So I think it was still under like discussion whether it'd be 720 or 1080 on the handheld version.
Gotcha. If it's not 1080 on the handheld, that's ridiculous.
Well, what was the Vito? That was 720, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was HD.
With an OLED. Okay.
I think, or maybe it was like right on the cusp of HD. I'm pretty sure it's HD.
Maybe. I mean, it's better looking than the 3DS, which is 360.
But anything from Reset Era, I don't listen to those people because those are all. I mean, you guys know how Reset Era came to be, right? You remember NeoGAF?
Yeah.
Well, NeoGAF, it turned out like the creator or whatever was, I don't know if he was like a pedo or a Nazi or, some shit like that. Some dirt came up on him. So all the extreme communist people, and I'm not even saying that lightly, like these are legit communist people, went away and formed Reset Era. So yeah, those are the people over at Reset Era. Just like god awful censorship. If you don't agree with us, we're banning you type people.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So I don't give Reset Era any time of day, and they're always like, oh, we have leaked evidence. They're the ones that are always saying like, guys, a Nintendo Direct is coming this week. It's like, no, it's not.
Okay.
That being said, though, Roger, you gonna pick up Switch Pro if it comes out?
No, I'd rather just get the new Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're still not part of that group.
Yeah, I'm falling behind.
I probably will get it. Like if it is actually like a substantial upgrade.
That's my thing though.
Even if it's like another console.
This has like, the thing is, Nintendo games run fine on the Switch, so I don't see a reason to have a Switch Pro.
Part. Stuff like Breath of the Wild, even like Link's Awakening didn't run that great.
Yeah,
really?
But I think those are just
the overworld for Link's Awakening.
I think those are just badly optimized games, though. I don't think that has to do with like the actual processing power.
Like, Mario Odyssey like runs at a solid 60 frames, like the whole game, and that's not like I would say a small game by any means.
No, I mean it's not a giant game, but it's not small. No. Yeah.
Like
so
it knew its limitations, I think.
Well, the developers, they're smart about it. They know how to optimize it. It's segmented too.
And with with Breath of the Wild, I know that's a Wii U game, and I'm assuming it was just carryover from that is why it didn't run well at certain points.
Yeah.
Because it was more made around the old hardware, which the old hardware didn't even run it that well, which I'm assuming is because of optimizations made for the new hardware, and it just made neither of them really an optimal way to play it.
Yeah. I also say that
Awakening, it was Grezzo's first game that they made their own engine for, so I'm just going to give them a pass on that for it.
Yeah, they're learning. But I still stand by that the Switch Pro isn't going to happen. If anything, this is the next generation of Nintendo because we're coming up on 4 years having the Switch, and Nintendo sticks to that 5-year cycle they always have. I think except for the Wii. But there's people say there was the whole financial crisis and stuff that happened in 2008, which extended the 360 and PS3's life as well. So I kind of like, that's the only one where I'm like, the world was in chaos, so they kind of delayed it.
It is back in chaos again, so it could be something they
kind of, yeah. So
an extra year on.
Yeah, who knows? We might get it in 2023. Although I don't think so. If PS5 and Xbox Series X/S were able to release in the middle of this,
it's because those were almost done right when all this started. And they still haven't really been able to satisfy consumers with that release.
Yeah, but I think, but Nintendo has. Like, Nintendo's been able to produce Switches, And I
not at first. There was a good 6 months where no one could get a Switch.
Well, that's because everyone bought them. Because everyone was like, "Oh, I'm in lockdown now. I'm gonna go buy a Switch."
They did that, and they were also delayed because like they had just moved their production plant to Vietnam, and then COVID happened, so they were super behind in production.
Well, it's also with Nintendo, you never know. Who knows if they're actually holding them back or not? Because they're infamously known to do that.
I think in that case they weren't. I think it was just bad timing for the company.
I don't know.
Because who wouldn't want to not make money?
Nintendo does that. They do that. They did it with the Wii. Like, if you remember when the Wii first came out, you couldn't find them anywhere, and it wasn't because they couldn't make enough of them. It's because they were holding them back because that's big news. I mean, we're talking about it right now. When your console, you can't find it anywhere, and then one pops up, and you impulsively buy it because you're like, I've kind of always wanted a Switch. It's kind of hard to find right now. So, yeah, sure, I'll pick this up. I'll get it. You know?
They definitely know how to make money.
Definitely know how to make money, even though it's kind of scummy sometimes. They know how to get their money. But I think
those mini consoles, like you saw theirs sold like crazy, and then when other people tried to do it and actually like produced enough of them to satisfy demand, no one cared.
Yeah, and it's like, and if you look at the total sales, all the mini consoles, they kind of sell the same amount. Like Nintendo's I think did end up selling more, which I would argue is because Nintendo, they had better games on there, and then also Nintendo's more popular than like the Neo Geo or the Genesis or whatever.
Commodore 64.
Yeah, Commodore 64.
That one I was like shocked that they did.
Oh yeah, they've made mini ones for everything, and I think a lot of that.
They came out with a TurboGrafx one recently.
I think a lot of those are for the Asian market, because they're bigger over there. But yeah,
the PlayStation one I was surprised. It was like two. It was like a 1-2 hit. Like one, it's PlayStation, so I expected it to sell well, but also like they didn't put any games on it.
Yeah, that's the problem with the PlayStation one, because it's cool, but it's like, guys,
they also didn't give you the DualShock 1 controller for it.
Yeah, it's like, why did you pick?
Yeah, it was also like $100 when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculously expensive for like these games no one cared about.
Yeah, it was $100, and then it was like the game selection, and I understand because someone that was in charge of something said like, well, with the PS Classic, we wanted to give you like the first of everything. Like, this is the first Persona. This is the first racer we had. This is the first this, first that. It's like, that's cool. Traditionally, the first isn't the best. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing with like the Nintendo games. Like, they didn't give you like the first of everything. They give you the best of those consoles.
Yeah.
They give you a nice selection of what the consoles were.
The PlayStation it would be the one that I would buy and like hack to like add ROMs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's easy to do. But the thing that's sad about it is like there is data that Crash and Spyro and Tomb Raider were going to be on there for whatever reason that they didn't end up on there.
Well, it's because the remasters come out around the same time too.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Well, Spyro remaster did. Crash didn't. Crash had already been out for a while.
Yeah, but
and Tomb Raider,
they've been bundling them together. And that's probably back when they were rumoring about a 4 being developed, so it kind of makes sense.
Also, Activision.
I don't think
It's also Activision. Activision was probably like, we want this big of a cut, and Sony was like, no. It's like, fine, we're not giving it to you. So.
But I also feel like the remasters shouldn't have had anything to say in it because like these are the first versions. These are the remasters. You get 3 in this bundle. You get the first ones in this. Either way, you're gonna want to buy both.
Maybe.
If you're into it.
I don't
know. If you're
maybe.
Buying it for that, you're gonna buy the remaster.
I mean,
or you just buy the remaster because it's cheaper.
True. Yeah. So maybe that was a Sony move where they're like, people will just buy the remaster and they won't get this. I don't know.
But the thing is, it shouldn't have been hinging on Crash and Spyro alone being on it.
I think if you put Crash and Spyro on it, though, that automatically makes it better.
Yeah.
Like, you put those 2 games on there, it's like, oh, at least it has Crash and Spyro, know? Or Tomb Raider 2. Like, why not throw Tomb Raider 2? Why not throw on Siphon Filter? Like, there's so many PS1 games that they could have put on there, and which, I also have all those games, so it's kind of cool playing these older ones that I never would have gotten. It's cool that the first Persona game's on there, because the only way to play that is either the PSP version, or you drop $200. So, it's...
The first... I feel like it'd be trash.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it'd be.
But, it's cool that it's there.
They made isn't that like, did they make a black character white or a white character black in that version?
Yeah, they made him black. If you guys ever want to just see horrendous translation, look up Persona 1. They messed up the money system, they messed up the leveling system, they blackwashed people, whitewashed all their names. It was terrible. Terrible port.
It's really funny too because it's like it's obviously not like a black person too.
Yeah, I know, right? It's totally white. For these
It
next
did-
two stories, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip over them real quick. It was just PlayStation is ending production of PS4 in Japan. They're only selling the PS4 Slim 500 gigabyte version, seemingly because they're trying to ramp up PS5 production. So they're freeing up some of those assembly lines. And then there's a story going around about Xbox and Duracell agreement, and it was just going around. It's not really true, but it's like, they have an agreement. That's why they still use batteries and stuff. It's like, well, maybe that's why. We don't really know. I also put that Xbox got laughed out of the room when they tried to buy Nintendo 20 years ago, which is just the funniest thing in the world to me.
I love it that happened.
Yeah, me too. That's so funny. Xbox, at first I was like, I'm glad Xbox is back in the game. But now hearing how they've gone to like every developer asking them to put games on Game Pass. They're still saying that they want to buy more studios after Bethesda. They've bought like 20. Like, honestly, I'm kind of getting worried. I feel like Microsoft's endgame is just to have a monopoly.
I feel like after Cyberpunk they could end up buying
CDPR.
Projekt Red.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. And it's like, I don't know. I want Xbox to do good, but I don't want Xbox to own everything because I feel like that's when bad
Honestly,
things
I
happen.
feel like I know like Sega and Nintendo have had a bit of a partnership in the past few years, but like Sega is like the one I could like the big one I could see Microsoft buying.
That's what people
next.
keep saying. I think
'Cause
Sega's.
originally, I know they were going to partner with the original Xbox, and then it didn't end up happening.
I think Sega's too Japanese, which I know Microsoft wants to make Crossroads into Japan, but I think Sega has too much. They're tied too much to Nintendo and to PlayStation, like with deals and relationships, and they're over in Japan. Microsoft is in Seattle, I think, or something, and it's like, I don't know. Bethesda makes sense when you really think about it because they announced Bethesda games on Xbox stages at E3 before the Bethesda showcase. Like, they would spoil their own showcase for Xbox. Like, they've been buddy for a long ass time.
It wasn't just Bethesda. It was
it's ZeniMax.
ZeniMax, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Bethesda's the biggest name in that. And of course, they got others, but I just don't. It starts to worry me with like they want to buy more because I'm like, you're going to ruin the gaming market.
Yeah.
Because right now you're doing really good, but all it takes is Phil Spencer to step down and someone bad, another Don Matrick, to step up, and then the gaming sphere is destroyed. So
That's the nice thing about Sony is like they're a very like welcoming platform for third party studios. And then like if they end up getting like a gold star publisher or game developer like Insomniac, they'll end up buying them. They don't just go like, mine, give me mine, I want it.
yes,
This one's too.
Sony doesn't go around buying up all these studios. Nintendo doesn't. It literally is.
Microsoft is like the alcohol industry, where it's like there's all these developers that you hear of and these games you see, but like at the top it's owned by one company.
Yeah. Which there's one other company that it reminds me of that goes around and buys a shitload of developers, and it's EA.
Oh yeah,
EA does that.
they've done that for a long time, and they've killed a lot of studios.
And they kill a lot of studios, and it makes you think like, is Microsoft, because their form right now that they're doing is not sustainable. Them spending all that money. I understand that they're Microsoft, but Microsoft doesn't just give bucket loads of money to Xbox. They're like, okay, we need to start seeing returns on this.
Rare, I think, is the most notorious purchase they've made, where like you see like they were making big hits, and then they're like, do what we want you to do for these sequels to games that you make. We're gonna really micromanage this, and then you're gonna make Kinect games.
Yeah. So,
I'm so happy they dropped the Kinect.
me too.
Yeah,
Just a little thing
like
to worry
I think
about.
like I feel bad for some of those developers because like I remember like some of the Rare developers saying they left when like they went from making like Banjo Kazooie and designing all these fun characters to like making T-shirts for Connect Soccer,
It's
and they're like
awful.
they were like handed that on their desk, and I was like, "That's it, I'm leaving."
Yeah. It's you never know, and that's what I mean. Like you just never know. But let's hope that doesn't happen. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our main topic of the week now. I don't know how long we've been recording because we don't have a little clock going. I feel like it's been a minute though. Uh, so what
We're
we're gonna
done.
do is we have all picked. How many games did you guys pick? You pick 5.
I picked a little over 5.
Okay,
I
Roger.
just, I just,
I did the main 5, but then the other ones are going to be more so honorable mentions.
yeah, I just got a list that I just kind of gonna go through and just say what
All
I like.
right. Well, I think what we could do is I want you guys to pick your top 5, and then yeah, the rest are honorable mentions. I have a lot of honorable mentions, so I'll go ahead and go through those now, while you guys kind of sort that out.
Okay.
But we'll do our honorable mentions. Like I'll say mine first, and then I don't know Roger, and then Jake, and then we'll go one by one with our top 5, starting at 5, going to 1. Or if you have no order, that's fine too. Like it's just whatever. But I wanted to give a shout out real quick to The Medium, which is the Xbox game that comes out this month. Looks cool, all like a horror themed, psychological things like that. Mass Effect Legendary Collection. It's Mass Effect. I love it. Destruction All Stars looks fun. Returnal, the Housemarque game, looks awesome. It Takes Two, I think would be a fun game to play with my girlfriend. Back for Blood, I'm excited to play with people. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Lord of the Rings, Evil Dead game, Hogwarts Legacy, Stalker 2, and then of course this is Persona's 25th anniversary, and Sega has said that they have plans for it. I'm
Okay, can we
expecting
go into 5?
more Steam ports.
Mm-hmm.
Persona 3 and Persona 5 will probably come to Steam this year.
That'd be
Um,
cool.
Maybe also the long rumored Persona 2 remake game might be announced. Um, and also some more spin offs. We haven't had the Persona fighting game, the Persona 5 fighting game yet. I think that is just, it's going to happen. And then maybe, I don't know, probably another anime or something will pop up. But I'm excited for all that stuff from Persona because they're making it out to be a big deal. So I'm expecting a big deal. Uh, but yeah, Roger, you want to go ahead and say your honorable mentions?
Roger.
Or Jake, you want to go first?
Okay. um. So I believe it's kind of like a mix for my top 5 for my number 5. Do we want to go into that or
Did you have honorable mentions to say first?
I do, but one of my like one of them is kind of like a, my number 5 is kind of a double.
Okay, go ahead and do that then.
Okay. So my number 5 would be Back for Blood and Lego Star Wars. That one is like I'm kind of tossing around because Back for Blood looks really fun because I love Left 4 Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And but I love the Lego Star Wars games, and I watched one of the most recent trailers for it recently, and I'm like, oh, that looks really good.
It does. It looks really good.
So like I'm kind of split which one I'm more excited for. I think I lean a little bit more towards Lego Star Wars, but that would uh, going into my honorable mentions though, I'll definitely say like Ratchet and Clank is on there. Um, Halo Infinite, still hoping that game will be good, and
Mm-hmm.
I love Halo, so I have to put it in here. Um, and I mean, this year there aren't like too many things that are catching my eye, so I have to say Zelda and Metroid just for the
Yeah.
the 0.1% chance that they come out this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want Metroid Prime 4 and I want Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, I'm
Or some
hoping
form of Zelda. I've heard that they might do a 35th anniversary collection like they did with the Mario.
that'd be
So
great. That'd be great.
if we got
Um,
the HD ports of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for $60 each,
I'd
um,
buy it. I'd
I
be
would too.
enabling. I'd be enabling them all day.
But I would hope they would do a collection where it was both of them in one. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Knowing Nintendo, it's very much possible that they won't. Um, but I would also like to see like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask getting like at least upscaled for the Switch or remake possible.
Bring over the 3DS ports.
Yeah, but knowing Nintendo, they could just end up just giving us the original N64 versions on a cartridge for $60.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'd like to see something happen for Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Me as well. Roger, you want to go ahead and say your honorable mentions?
His ring's lighting up, but I don't hear him.
Yeah, we don't hear you, Roger.
I hear like
Buzz.
buzz. Yeah, like something.
More technical difficulty music. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. All right. Well, I guess since you said you're number 5, I'll say my number 5 too. My number 5 is.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh hey.
Oh hey. Okay,
Hey.
Roger, you can go ahead
Okay.
and. I was about to say my number 5, but actually you can do your honorable mentions and then number 5.
My honorable mentions. Well, I don't really have like a hard list or anything. I didn't like number it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say Deathloop. It's one that I'm kind of excited about. I'm not like super like I can't wait to play it, but I'm really curious about how that's going to turn.
All right. That actually works really well because my number 5 is Deathloop.
Hey.
Yeah, I think it's by the people that made Dishonored and Prey.
That and Returnal both look pretty good.
I wasn't too keen on Deathloop when I first saw it, but then we got that second trailer. I think it was at the Xbox show.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second trailer. I've only seen that original launch trailer, which, as with you, I wasn't too keen on. So
it
maybe I should
looks
watch it.
so cool because at first I was like, this looks kind of stupid. And you got like someone, like people invading your game or something. Like, what's going on? But then I was like, oh, wait, this is like a speedrunner's paradise because you have like certain amount of time, I don't know if it's like a day or 2 days or something, to take out these 6 targets, and it's all trial and error. Like you try to do something and you see how it works, but it's like, oh, that took off the security, so you got to go back and you're like, okay, now this time I'm going to disable the security and go in. It's like, oh, there were guards over there, so then you go back and it's like, okay, disable the security, take out the guards, and then go in there. But then you're trying to assassinate like these 6 people, so it's like, okay, well, actually, if I wait, these 2 targets will be here at the same time, so I won't kill them first. I'll kill someone else first, and then take these 2 at the same time. And it looks like a game that just has, I don't want to say endless possibilities, but a lot of possibilities. A lot of different ways that you can play it. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch on YouTube because people are going to be going at it at such different ways. But yeah, I'm excited about that game.
I do like that style of game that's kind of becoming more prevalent, where it's like you die, but then it's like not really.
Yeah, it's like you just go back.
That was a really fun element of the Katana Zero game I played last year, where it's like you have a precognitive ability that lets you see into the future. So anytime you play through a level or a screen and you die, that's your precognition telling you, oh, that strategy is not going to work. So you go back to the beginning, and it's like, all right, then now I can go through this. And it's like, so for your final run through that room
is like the real one. Yeah. It's super cool. So I'm excited for that game. Jake, you want to hit us with your number 4?
My number 4 would be Stray. I don't know like anything about this game, but the world looks super cool.
It's got a cat.
You get to play as a little kitty cat with a backpack. I want to solve mysteries as a little kitty cat in a robot world. So in the game also, I don't know if we saw like actual gameplay at all, or if that was just a CG trailer, but it looked really good. And I don't think it's anything the PS5 couldn't do. So I'm just excited to see that game come out and what it is.
That game does look good. I guess honorable mentions, I should put Kina, Bridge of Spirits, because I forgot about that game too. Definitely am looking forward to that game, which was supposed to come out last year, but did not. And Stray also. Those games look good. Roger, want to hit us with your next game, not numbered in any specific order?
No, I don't got any specific order, but I tell you what, I'm excited for the Nier Replicant remake.
Yeah, I guess I should put that on my. There's a lot of games that are coming out.
I forgot about that game.
I know
that game looks good. I picked up Nier
Yeah, I
Automata
can't wait to
recently.
play it.
You're
It's so good, dude. The soundtrack is one of the best for that game too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're a big Nier guy, right?
Oh yeah, I played. I still have the original Nier on 360, and I like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
this keeps happening to me. I finally track down Nier, and they come out with a remake for it, and then I finally track down Demon Souls, and then they come out with a remake for it.
Jake, if you could track
Demon
down
Souls is the only reason I want to get PS5. To be honest with you,
Jake, if you could track down Persona 4 on PS2,
that'd be great.
please. I would appreciate that.
You got your Steam port.
I want a remake, damn it. All right, yeah, Nier.
Could you imagine
That's
Persona 4 and like the Persona 5 engine?
oh my gosh, it'd be so great. It'd be lovely. My number 4 is Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
I
that should have been one of my
I
mentions.
was a big fan of Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, the whole platinumed it, 100%ed it, blah blah blah. It's just like you're fighting robot dinosaurs. It's so fucking cool. And now we're going to the San Francisco area. We're gonna learn more about like what actually happened to this world because it is Earth. That
Yeah.
they said, which is kind of obvious that it's Earth.
Kind of monolith.
I need to beat the original. I have it.
Yeah.
I've played a couple hours to it. Never
Yeah,
beat
I
it.
still haven't beat it either.
The
But I
original-
played.
The original touches on what happens, like if you do all the side things and go in like where the you go into these like secret dungeons. They're not secret, I guess. They're optional though. Where they're producing the robots, it kind of gives you more history on what actually happened, and I'm excited to like explore that more. I think it'd be cool if we actually like found civilization, like maybe they're like behind giant walls or something, and it's just everyday people, like there are cars and stuff. I think that'd be really cool if
Like the village.
uh-huh. I think that'd be awesome. But you know, setting all that aside, I know I love Aloy. I love the combat. The world is awesome. So I'm excited to play this Sony exclusive. No release date though. Just
Yep.
this year
Coming soon.
sometime. Also coming to PS4. So, you know, not a PS5 game.
Yeah, and I've heard God of War is going to be the same, the Ragnarok.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not confirmed, but it probably is going to be like that.
Which makes sense for how hard the PS5 has been to get to make your big games available to your widest audience.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'd like a God of War just to vote for PS5.
that'd be awesome.
Which I think how this generation's looking, it will have a dedicated PS5 version versus it just being like ported and touched up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like with Miles
you seem to be
Morales.
more into doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet you, I bet with God of War specifically, maybe with Horizon too, they might do a Spider-Man, like, you know, pay an extra this much and you get the remastered version or whatever.
Get Spider-Man in God of War.
Yeah. All right. So Jake, are we on 3 now?
Yeah. So I guess my number 3 would be Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. This game looks super cool. I don't know if you if you ever played the Jet Set Radio games. It's basically that.
Jet Set Radio. Yeah.
It looks like it's got like a very similar vibe to that. It's basically a spiritual successor because I don't know if any of the original people are working on it. I think there might be, but I know the original music composer for that gave his full blessings to the game, and that's how I found out about it was through him. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, super cool, super cool. I like that your picks aren't like AAA picks. You're much more into the smaller scene, which is awesome. Those are usually where a lot of great games come from.
Mm-hmm. That's where I
AAA.
Yeah, I'm not a sheep.
Speaking of that, Roger, what's your number 3?
Did I do a number 4?
Yeah, your number 4 was Nier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
That was my number 5.
Deathloop.
I did.
Yeah.
No, that was my honorable mention.
Oh, it was.
Oh, yeah, but that can be my number 5.
Oh no, it's fine. Hit us with your number 4, and then go ahead and give us 3 as well.
Okay, cool. 2 for 1. Probably Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8.
Oh yeah.
That one.
That one
I'm really excited for that one.
I need to beat 7 still. Because I know it's really into 8.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 I really enjoyed. I kind of bought that on a whim, and it made me play through pretty much the entire Resident Evil franchise. So I really enjoyed it. And then I guess God of War, the Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
I played the first one for the first time this year, and I'm excited for the second one. No, the first remake one.
It's not a remake.
Reimagining, whatever you want to call it.
It's not a reimagining, it's a sequel.
It's a sequel, but it's not. It's like a soft reboot.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So. My goodness. All right, those are some good choices. My number 3 is Resident Evil Village.
Hey.
Kind of just piggybacking off what Roger said. Resident Evil 7 was fantastic. RE8, I remember at first when the trailer started, I didn't know it was Resident Evil. No one did. And I was like, what is this weird horror game? And at first I was kind of like, this kind of looks like crap. Like the animations and stuff from the, I don't know, it showed like a witch or something. I was like, that looks weird. It didn't look.
I was in denial. I'm in denial because I'm like, this isn't Resident Evil. What is this?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what is this?
Got werewolves too, doesn't it?
Yeah, werewolves and stuff.
Got a bunch of shit.
And then by the end, when it showed Resident Evil like 8, and then they did the thing where like, and then Village because they did the VILL, but that's
they're
8.
really stretching it. They really stretched it with 7, and they're really stretching it with 8.
But I was like, oh shit, never mind. That's awesome because Resident Evil doesn't have like the best graphics. I mean, remake obviously looks amazing, but like 7. The character animations aren't like, super realistic. It's not Last of Us or anything, but I think that works in favor of the game because it's kind of more scary. So when I watched
that game has great atmosphere. Is what I feel about it. Like the mood that game sets is top notch.
Which is key in Resident Evil. Like that is what Resident Evil does best is the mood of the mansion, the mood of the town, and the mood of the police station in 2. So I'm really excited about 8. Yeah, I mean, I love Resident Evil. Fantastic games. Jake, your number 2?
My number 2, actually, you said it earlier, would be the Kena game. That game looks really, really good. I feel like it's got a very kind of Zelda-y vibe. At first, I thought it looked stupid because it had the little little creatures that looked very minion-like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, this game actually looks really cool. It's kind of got like a Zelda meets Pikmin vibe, which is odd. I never thought I'd see that combination, but
here we are.
Yeah, it looks cool. I think hopefully it looks a little bit better than the gameplay did in the first trailer, because I know it was a bit of frame drops and didn't look as polished.
And they did show it like almost a year ago now, so
yeah. So it's been a while, and it got delayed too, so even better. So I'm excited to see it. I'm probably gonna pick it up day one. I don't usually pick up a lot of games day one, but that will be one that I get as soon as it comes out.
Yeah. That game does look good. I'm excited for it. Roger, number 2.
This is hard for me because like there's some games that like I'm excited for, but I'm also hesitant about. One of them is the new Hogwarts game. Like I really want to see how that turns out, but I'm hesitant on like how that will be. So yeah, same with
doesn't have a developer with the best track record behind it, but it looks good.
Same with Lord of the Rings Gollum. You know what I mean? Like, my number 2 spot, I'll probably do Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm really curious about that game.
Yeah, that game looks spooky.
Spooky. But and the reason I brought up those others is because I kind of feel the same way about this game, where it's like I'm a little hesitant on it, but I'm also like really excited to see how it turns out. So
I need to see more from it because we really haven't seen like anything for it.
Yeah, like that little gameplay
that's
trailer.
Why I'm excited about it. I don't know. I like from what they showed me. It's like, you know what, this is enough to get me interested in it, and I kind of want to go in blind. I miss going into stuff blind.
Oh, me too. Yeah, games just show way too much now because they're just trying to sell it so much. It's like, you know what? Honestly, like the games that we've already talked about, like Resident Evil Village, I don't need to see anymore. Horizon, don't need to see anymore. Deathloop, I'm good. Like don't show anymore. I'm fine. I
Like,
got it.
like I will bring this back to Halo. Now I really do need to see gameplay to be sold on Halo, but before all they had to do was do those live action trailers that kind of had a little bit to do with like characters and plot, but
Yeah.
it was always something original.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, I'm sold. You got me.
I miss those Halo 3 trailers.
Yeah, Halo 3, Halo ODST, and Reach, they all had like really good live action trailers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm roping you back in. We ain't getting on our Halo tangent. I'm going to lasso you back in. Well, my number 2 would be God of War Ragnarok, which was Roger's number 3, I think.
3 or 4. Mine aren't in a hard order.
Yeah. But, you know, God of War Ragnarok, I'm playing through the original God of War right now. And honestly, just from the first 5-10 hours of that game, I'm like, yeah, I want a sequel. Like, the Norse, is that what it's called? Norse? Yeah, Norse mythology. Super cool.
It's so cool in that game.
It's weird at first because I'm playing this. I'm like, I don't know, this part where I had to like pick flowers and stuff. I'm like, the fuck am I doing? I'm playing as Kratos and I'm picking goddamn flowers. But then 30 minutes later, I'm like decapitating a dragon. I'm like, okay, no, this game's badass. So I'm excited to see
a dead guy in the knee.
Yeah, shooting a dead guy in the knee. So I'm excited for more of those big set pieces, and I think you know, I don't know what happens in God of War at the end. I'm going to find out. But I know that there's a lot of potential for the setting. But yeah, so God of War Ragnarok. We'll see if it comes out this year. If it does, Sony's releasing like 4 big games this year, and that's kind of crazy.
It's like their Nintendo Switch launch year.
I mean, Ratchet, God of War, Horizon,
Spider-Man.
Well, there.
I mean, yeah, that was last year, but like in such close proximity.
Yeah, within like 365 days. So we'll see if it comes out. Here's fingers crossed, but who knows? Jake, hit us with your number 1.
I can guarantee it's neither of your guys' number 1. But it's a game that's coming out very soon, and I'm very excited for it. It's Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game complete edition. I love Scott Pilgrim, and I've been dying to play this game for like actually years because
it's a side scroll beat 'em up, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I missed the boat. Right, like I went to go buy it like right after they delisted it, and I couldn't get it anywhere. So I'm really excited. Yeah, my luck. But I'm really excited to pick it up. I'm gonna get the limited run.
I'm so happy that you got into that. I don't know if calling it a franchise is the right word, but like just the movie and the graphic novels. So happy you got into that because they're so good.
Mm-hmm. It's like I honestly I always loved the movie. I didn't realize there was a game for it. I knew of I should have because I remember like Achievement Hunter did a thing for it. But I didn't really get like super into it until I read the books, and I was like, oh, these are great. And then I wanted to get the game, and then game's gone.
Yeah.
But that's another game I was seeking after, and then it got made.
Yeah, I mean this one's a little different though because it was like gone.
It was gone. I couldn't actually find it. So luckily, I didn't spend a couple $100 on an Xbox that has it loaded up on it. Which I would have done at some point.
Oh yeah, I mean if that was like a Persona game, I definitely would have been like, ah, shit.
So, I'm picking up the limited run physical release for it, so I'll always have it because this will get delisted again someday, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah.
Because of how much licensing there is to it. Just because, you got Universal, you got Anamanaguchi, you got the author of the comics, I forget his name, unfortunately, and you've got Ubisoft all involved.
Yeah.
And Edgar Wright, because he directed the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people. A lot of people came together to make this happen, which I'm really happy that they did.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, that's exciting. I'm glad that you're finally getting that game after, gosh, it's not 10 years, but damn close to 10 years.
Quite a while.
It's like 7 years.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Roger, hit us with your not number 1, but is your number 1 most anticipated game.
If it comes out this year, Halo Infinite.
Hey, Halo Infinite.
I need Halo back in my life. I want to see how it comes out.
I hope Halo Infinite comes out this year and is good as all Halo fans want because I am notoriously like not a Halo fan. I've played the games. I've enjoyed, the ones that I've beaten like Reach and stuff. I'm like, that was good. ODST is good and stuff. But like, I'm never really yearning to play Halo. I know me and Jake talk about like, oh, we should do like the original trilogy co-op, and I do want to do that.
Mhm.
But I'm not a big Halo fan. But it's been painful to see Halo fans be so
Dude,
down
it's been a
because
struggle. And here's the thing: I
Yeah.
know I'm probably like betting on a losing hand, but like I don't care. I'm just like, but if it
Also-
works out, it's gonna be great. So I
Uh-huh.
don't mind.
I feel like Halo fans are in the same boat Wii U fans were in.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah, like the Wii U had potential. I guess I don't want to say so much
It just
potential,
never ends for me.
but it's like Halo 5 comes out, and like it or not, it's not what people were expecting. Master Chief Collection comes out, and it's just like all you hear for the first 2 years is it's broken, it's broken, it's broken.
Halo 4 wasn't
Halo 4 wasn't
amazing.
amazing.
It was
Halo
a little bit of both. Like it was like it felt like Halo, but it was also not
Halo
Halo.
Wars 2 came
It's
and
definitely
went.
correct.
Like it's been a struggle for Halo fans, so I'm really hoping that
Then
Infinite,
we got
Yeah.
a botched remaster for
I,
Halo 1.
yeah. So I'm pulling for you guys. I'm pulling for Halo fans. I'm like, you guys need this. You need this dub.
The only good thing
Yeah.
that came out of the Master Chief Collection was the remaster for Halo 2.
Remaster Halo 2 is great. Well, have you seen what they've been
Okay.
doing recently with it? They've been doing crazy stuff with it recently.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the seasons and stuff.
I know. I'm not a big fan that every game is doing seasons now. I can't
Yeah.
load up any sort of multiplayer game without it being in a season.
hmm It's cool they brought back Halo Reach in a way to get the armor. It just sucks that like all the other games have all the armor unlocked for you, but Halo Reach didn't.
Well, and they're doing is they're adding new armor for
Yeah.
like the older games. Like you can like customize your weapon skins for Halo 1.
Oh, I love pizza skins on my Halo 1
Yeah.
weapons.
Pizza
That's
time.
all I ever wanted.
All right.
Was skins.
Well, my number one is Ghostwire Tokyo. Me and Roger had a lot of the
Okay.
same games.
That's kind of funny.
But this game just looks really cool. I put most anticipated because, like, I think Mass Effect Legendary Collection I'm gonna love, of course, because it's Mass Effect. Like, that's probably going to be my
Yeah,
quote unquote favorite
we're gonna
game.
love that.
Yeah, same with Persona. But like, out of games that I don't really know, like Ghostwire Tokyo just sounds and looks awesome. It's like this action adventure horror game. It's in Japan, which is amazing. Like, there's so many things working towards it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jake. Are these the people that did Evil Within?
I think so, because that's
Is it really?
Bethesda, right?
Because I feel like those were a very underrated two sets of games. I thought both of them were really not perfect, but really underrated.
hmm
Especially the second one. I think the second one was really good.
Let me look it up really quickly. The answer is yes. So it is the guys that made Evil Within and Evil Within 2.
Twice as excited now. Have you guys played the Evil Within game?
Yes.
I have not.
They're good.
Dude, they're really good. Especially the second one, in my opinion. Some people like the first one more. I really like the second one.
Yeah. So that, just adds to the excitement. I think this game is going to knock it out of the park. Interesting
sold.
thing about Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, both those games launch as PS5 exclusives, also coming to PC. But if you recall, they are Bethesda published games, which Microsoft is buying. So
Yeah.
Shit.
little interesting with those two games, but nevertheless, I am excited, and I think that is my most anticipated game because I like a good horror game. I like a good spook.
One done right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the horror industry really shines now. With movies, like they're, a needle in a haystack. For,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
those.
But video games, just being in it, it's so good.
Well, just having that interaction with the player just kind of naturally elevates it.
Yeah,
And I don't know,
definitely.
I like a good like creepy atmosphere more than like actual like scary jump scares.
Yeah, like jump scares or whatever. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So those are our most anticipated games for 2021. I put 2020 in the docket because I'm a fucking idiot. But with that being said, do you guys have the Google Doc open? Because we're gonna go through the releases for this week and the free games for this month.
I do, but I hate to do this. I have to go because I got to get ready for work.
Okay.
But I know Heath was supposed to have a cameo, and he's online. If you want to pop him in as a sub for this part.
Does Heath want to come on?
Well, he mentioned something like so much for my cameo in Discord. So
Oh, was he supposed to have a cameo?
I mean, if he wants to, he can come on. Yeah, you want to communicate that with him, and you can pop out and he can pop in. Um, it's limited to 3 though, so you would have to leave.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Jake. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your list of your anticipated games. And we will see you in the next episode. Whether or not he hops in or not, Roger, we'll just go ahead and knock these. Yeah. So we're gonna start with the free games for the month. It is the beginning of a new month. And
Later, guys.
yeah, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Is in beginning of a new month, so we have our free games. I'll go ahead and read it off first, and then we'll just go back and forth on it. So your free games this month for Xbox, if you have Xbox Live Gold, goes as follows. You can get Little Nightmares from January 1st to the 31st, The King of Fighters 13 from January 1st to the 15th, Breakdown from the 16th to the 31st, and Dead Rising from January 16th to February 15th.
So this is something I forgot about, but I'm pretty sure Little Nightmares 2 is coming out.
It is, yes.
I'm really curious about that. That might be an honorable mention because I thought that first one was really cool and unique.
I never actually played it, but I always heard about it, and
it only takes like 4 hours, and it's free. So
there you go. Just get it on here. No excuses.
All right, so I'm doing the next one.
Yeah.
Coming to Game Pass this month are the following games: eFootball PES 2021 Season Update, Injustice 2, The Little Ark, Neoverse, Torchlight 3, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Y2K, a post-modern RPG.
Oh my gosh, that is Y2K. I'm an idiot. I kept reading it as like yick.
I mean, I think that's what it is.
I think you're right. I think it's Y2K, a postmodern RPG, because that makes sense. What Remains of Edith Finch is fantastic. It's a good game.
Yeah, great game.
And
great game.
And Injustice 2. Both really good games.
Yeah. I thought that was probably one of my favorite fighters, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Modern fighter games in a while. Torchlight. I played the original Torchlight a lot back in the day. It was kind of like my pre-Diablo, before I got into Diablo, I played. So I'm curious what Torchlight 3. I mean, it's essentially just Diablo.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
I might have to check that out then, because I've been itching for a Diablo-like game recently.
Yeah, it's probably the best Diablo-like game you're gonna find. You get your characters. You can have like a pet AI companion, and
cool.
A huge massive dungeon that you can.
Awesome. All right. Well, over on PlayStation Plus, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you will receive Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Greedfall, and the recently released Maneater for free. The latter being exclusive to PS5 users. So if you don't have a PS5, what I always tell people to do, get on the app, claim the game. That way, when you do get a PS5, you will have that in your library already.
Yeah, I might become a PlayStation Plus owner for this month because all 3 of those I kind of want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, those are all 3 pretty good games. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is fantastic. Greedfall is pretty good. It's like a pirate game. And then Maneater was like the talk of the town for a month.
And Greedfall is like a perfect PlayStation Plus game just because I always want to play it, but I don't want to spend money.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. PS Now has some big additions coming to the streaming service this month. Ubisoft's The Crew 2, City Builders Surviving Mars, and Frostpunk Console Edition will now be included in the subscription.
Yep. I don't really have. I mean, The Crew 2.
Yeah, The Crew is kind of the main notable one, and I don't know. They're okay if you got some buddies and you like driving around, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can just play GTA 5 again.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I always tell people to get PS Now, but maybe wait till next month.
Maybe.
Stadia Plus users can get Array in the Secret of Seasons, F1 2020, Figment, El Hio, A Wild West Tale, and Hotline Miami if they are a Pro subscriber. You can get that for free.
Oh, Secret of Seasons, even though it doesn't really have anything to do, it reminds me, did you ever play the Rune Factory games?
Yes, I have.
They're coming out with a 5th one. next year too. This year.
Really?
Yeah, I think the last one came out on like the 3DS like years ago,
Uh-huh.
and they announced a fifth one coming out 2021.
That's awesome. I'll
I
definitely pick
know
that up. I
that's
love Room
crazy.
Factory.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty neat game series. So
Yeah, that's
I'd
great.
love to get that.
Good news of the
All
day.
right.
Woo.
Right? I keep like remembering stuff as I'm going through this. Uh, Amazon Prime subscribers can get the following games on Prime Gaming: Void Bastards, When Ski Lifts Go Wrong, Along the Edge, Alt Frequencies, and Bridge Constructor Playground. So you got those.
Yeah, there's some games. Probably the weakest lineup out of all the ones we've read. But
Yeah.
it's there if you have Amazon Prime, which a lot of people
Amazon
do.
Prime.
As always, the Epic Game Store is continuing to give out a free game every week. I will note that next week's is EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2. A great game, if I do say so myself. So I highly recommend picking that up. Maybe we can all play together if you do pick that up, because me and Jake have been. We've already said like we're getting that. Absolutely.
I've always wanted to get into it, so I might pick that up too.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know what they call it, some edition or whatever. You know, like not collector's edition, but whatever they call it. All right, well, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the big releases of this week. And tradition dictates that Jake goes first, but Jake's not here, so Roger,
yay,
you're on.
Glyph for the Switch. Glyph is a colorful and atmospheric 3D platformer. You play as a sphere-shaped mechanical scarab named Glyph from a third-person perspective. The player has to practice precision, speed, and ingenuity to collect relics and artifacts while exploring a series of highly varied, charming, and treacherous levels.
I do want to say, for Glyph, if you're listening to this, check this game out, because I kind of feel bad for the developers. When I was looking up new games, this game did pop up, and I couldn't find any information on it anywhere. How I got this description was I found their YouTube channel, and with a trailer that had this description, and the video had like 7 views, and I was like, oh
my
no.
God.
Yeah, like my videos get more views than them, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's sad. Maybe it'll blow up. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's as good as it's sounding.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look amazing, but it just looks like a little 3D platformer game.
Yeah, there's a market for this stuff, so.
Yeah, and if it's like $10, I think it would probably be worth $10 or $15. So check it out if you have the chance. Also, go ahead and check out their YouTube channel as well, because I honestly couldn't find anything about this game. So I even got on the Nintendo store and looked up Glyph and nothing popped up. I'm like, well, that's good.
Is it out or is it coming out?
It's coming out this week. So yeah, shout out to that game. The next one is King Arthur Knight's Tale for PC, a unique hybrid between turn-based tactical games and traditional character-centric RPGs. Knight's Tale is a modern retelling of a classic Arthurian mythology story filtered through the dark fantasy tropes, a twist on the traditional tales of chivalry. So that's a game. Don't know what it is. But
what do you think about that? I feel like King Arthur has been kind of told to death.
I agree. There's so many other things in history. Let's step away from King Arthur.
Yeah. Looks like Fire Emblem, but...
Yeah.
Skellboy Refractured for the PC. Play as Skippy, a square, flexible skeleton in this cute action RPG to keep a heartbroken court magician from destroying the world with his army of monsters and undead. Change out your body parts with those of enemies and friends and become the hero of Cubold Kingdom.
All right. Well, that's a game.
I wasn't expecting that description with that name.
Me neither.
I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah.
I just copy and paste these, so that was the first time I was hearing it too, and not what I thought. But yeah. There it is. This next one is the one Jake is most excited for.
He loved, and this is his game.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, complete edition, coming out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. Complete edition includes a remaster of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, trademarked, the game and its original DLCs, the Knives Chow, and
Yeah.
Wallace
Chow.
Wells add-on packs. Rediscover the beloved 2D arcade-style beat-em-up inspired by the iconic comic book series and movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Play as your favorite characters: Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, Knives Chow, is it Steven or Stefan? Steven Stills, and more. Level up and learn new awesome abilities, unlock secret items and modes, summon powerful allies, and more. Team up with friends and combine your skills to battle your way through waves of tough enemies or compete with them in awesome minigames like Dodgeball, all in your way to defeat the leagues of Ramona's evil exes. Um, I'm I've
Yeah, I didn't know there was DLC for that game.
I didn't either. It sounds cool though. I'm not like I watched Scott Pilgrim the movie and I was like, that was a good movie,
Yeah.
but I'm not like a fan.
Yeah.
But this sounds cool.
I'm kind of the reason I got, because I told Jake, because I don't know if he watched the movie or something about it, and he did. I'm like, you got to read the graphic novels because they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's a super mega fan.
Yeah, he is. Like, yeah, he loves, and I felt bad for him because like he became a fan and is like the game's not available. It's like, wow, shit.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I was never like excited for the game because I'm not really big into those side scroller beat 'em ups.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but I'm glad he is.
Oh yeah, no. Reading this description, the part that excited me most was like, oh, awesome mini games like Dodgeball. I was like, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
The beat 'em up part, not really, but Dodgeball, yeah, sure. I like Dodgeball.
I mean, there's nothing against it. There's just, I don't know, there's just so many of them.
Mm-hmm, agreed. And they're all kind of the same. Like they've kind of been the same since the 80s.
I know, yeah. I mean, they got different maps, I guess, but yeah, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the hardcore fan base is just
probably like, yeah, they're like, how dare you? They're all different. Or, I don't fucking know. But
okay.
Your favorite one?
Five Nights at Freddy's Core Collection, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Welcome to your new job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where fantasy and fun come to life. Discover why children and adults alike love Freddy and his animatronic friends as you survive a series of terrifying encounters with a cast of murderous machines that roam the halls of the pizzeria at night looking for unwelcome visitors. Remember, Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for accidental or intentional death or dismemberment.
It's
so I'm curious. So in the original Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Golden Freddy or whatever he is popped up, he would pop up and your game would crash. Is that going to be the same thing for the Xbox and PlayStation?
Yeah, I don't know.
Close your game if he pops up. That's what I'm curious about.
That would be cool if they did that. Maybe it'll just like, this is a collection, so I'm assuming there's like a title screen for each game, like to select the games or something. So yeah, maybe it just crashes you back to the title screen. But yeah, I don't know. But it's there. I'm probably gonna pick it up because I want Susan to play these games, and I think on a PlayStation 4 controller she would it's easier to play with a controller than on like mouse and keyboard.
I've only played the first two, but they're all kind of the same, aren't they? Just kind of different areas.
Yeah, I mean the basic gameplay is more or less the same. I think 4 started changing it up a bit. There's like different mini games and different things you can do, but I mean, yeah, they're all basically the same. So
I wouldn't mind having it just to have it.
I think it's only $40 as well, which is nice.
I might wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah, $20. I think $20 would be good.
$20, I wouldn't mind. 40, that's a little pricey for me.
Yeah. Well, there are your big game releases of the upcoming week. Roger, do you have any other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or ideas?
No, not really.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me in this early morning podcast, which is now past noon.
Yeah.
You got any plans for today? You gonna go anywhere? Do anything?
This is my only day off for like the next 7 days, so I'm just gonna do absolutely nothing.
That sounds like a plan. I'm being dragged to the library because Susan wants to go to the library.
Yay!
So that's fun.
I don't even think our library's open. I think they only do like curbside pickup and stuff.
Yeah, I would be surprised if ours is, but she's checked out some books, so I think ours is, which is weird.
That's crazy. You think yours would be
shut down?
Mine would be open and yours would be closed.
Exactly. But allegedly it's open. So All right, everyone else, thank you so much for listening or watching, however you get this. Remember, if you like what we're doing here, make sure to give us a positive rating on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to the show. Also, make sure to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/thatoneandrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted along with a plethora of other videos. Remember, we also have our very own Patreon now, so if you'd like to support us, we would greatly appreciate it. Head over to patreon.com/thatoneandrew. You donate at a certain tier and you could have your name read at the end of this podcast in thanks of your support. So check it out today, and thank you for listening. Again, Roger, thank you for joining me. We will see you all on the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.